Weather portion of Ag Week, and really looking forward for the next 2 weeks. So much of what is important in our weather revolves around what has already happened. The soaking rains that fell this past weekend into the early part of the week in the Dakotas and much of the upper Midwest really changed the outlook on everything. And we talked about that in last week's Ag Week section because we thought if there were to be significant rains with the setup, that would make a lot of a difference because, as expected, the pattern still favors, for a lot of the region anyway, generally warmer than average and generally drier than average weather. Let's take a look at that rainfall. I got this map from the Midwest Regional Climate Center, which is all of the radar, the Doppler radar estimates of rain based on the U.S. radar. So it does not go, as you can see, into southern Canada. But this is impressive. The red shaded areas are anywhere from 5 to maybe as much as 8 inches of rain, as estimated by Doppler. And this is the total rainfall through June 10th for the month of June. But hardly any had fallen before that. So this is some really heavy core of heavy rains up over northwest Minnesota and a lot of 2 to 3 inch rains across the rest of northern Minnesota, down through the eastern Dakotas, and a few other downpours. This little section of moisture was the remnants of Tropical Storm Cristobal, which stalled out down in Louisiana and in the Gulf, and then slowly moved due north into Iowa, southeast Minnesota, and Wisconsin, causing flooding rainfall. The presence of the tropical system caused this rain to slow down, and that has left a lot of soil moisture in regions that were beginning to get a little bit dry. So the pattern has warmed up again this weekend, fairly warm. That heat will subside. No really unusually hot weather is expected really anywhere in the United States in this pattern, although as we go through the week, it will get kind of marginally hot and humid, as in upper 80s, low 90s, down through a lot of the Corn Belt, up through about Iowa and Chicago, and that'll gradually move south and east. We're not going to see a lot of cool weather anywhere except the northern Rockies and the Hudson Bay region, which are typically, of course, very cool this time of year. Moving ahead into the second week, the pattern will remain relatively flat. I don't expect to see a lot of hot weather in North Dakota or northern Minnesota, especially over all that soil moisture, but a little further south, there'll be some hot days, and just kind of surging from day to day. Most of the heat will be fairly typical for summertime conditions. Rain, not a lot of it. This doesn't mean that it'll be dry, but I don't see any organized heavy rain. There will be some in the Carolinas, south central Canada. Some of the northern Rockies will be wet, and some of that may even be snowfall this week. In the second week, a few scattered thunder showers throughout the Midwest and Corn Belt, but no organized heavy rain is expected for a while.